Over 150 years ago, a single apparition occurred on a mountain in southern France. In it was revealed a secret. It became known as Mary's Apocalypse because it described the latter times of the world. Two shepherd children saw a circle of light. Within the light was a woman weeping.
I am here to tell you something of greatest importance. If my people will not obey, I will be forced to let go of my son's arm. It is so heavy that I can no longer hold it back. If my son is not to cast you off, I have to implore him without ceasing. No matter how well you pray in the future, no matter how well you act, you'll never be able to make up to me for what I have endured for your sake. If the harvest is spoiled, it is your own fault. I warned you last year by means of potatoes. When you saw that the potatoes had rotted, you swore, you abused my son's name. They will continue to rot. A great famine is coming. Children will be seized with trembling and die in their parents' arms. Adults will pay for their sins by hunger. The grapes will rot.
After the apparition was approved, this church was built as famine spread throughout Europe. In Ireland alone, millions starved to death in the potato famine. Children died by the hundreds of thousands from cholera. The devastation of the vineyards of Europe lasted until 1905. God would prune the vine.
Do you say your prayers well, my children? It is very important to say them at night and in the morning. When you don't have time, at least say an Our Father and Hail Mary. When you can, say more.
On the woman's bosom was a cross with a victim moving on it. On one arm of the cross, a pliers, on the other arm, a hammer. It is held out to everyone to choose, to pull the nails out of her son, or to hammer the nails into him. To everyone is given the choice, water or fire, life or death, heaven or hell, the Virgin Mary or the serpent Lucifer. The Virgin Mary's secret of La Salette was revealed in 1858. It began.
The priests, ministers of my son, the priests by their evil lives, by their irreverence and impiety in celebrating the holy mysteries, by their love of money, love of honor, pleasures, the priests have become sewers of impurity. Yes, priests call for vengeance, and vengeance is suspended over their heads. Woe to priests and to persons consecrated to God, who by their infidelities and evil lives crucify my son anew. The sins of persons consecrated to God cry out to heaven and shout for vengeance. And now here is vengeance at their doors.
The secret talked about the Pope.
My son's vicar will have much to suffer, because for a time the church will be handed over to great persecutions. It will be the time of darkness. The church will undergo a frightful crisis.
Secret described the coming chastisement.
God will strike in an unparalleled manner. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth. God will exhaust his anger, and no one will be able to escape so many evils all at once. Society is on the eve of the most terrible scourges and the greatest events. It must expect to be governed by a rod of iron and to drink the chalice of God's wrath.
Lucifer was the first to be struck down by God's rod of iron, the first to be forced to swallow the chalice of God's wrath. God created hell for him and the angels who followed him.